so for this very last final assignment in block 2 of Evolve Artists oil painting program, where we're making our own still life compositions and then painting them, I decided to do something a little bit trickier. So since assignment, I think it was 15, when I tried to do the passion fruit and the upside down cup with the ridges, Piper, our head instructor, told me that's a little bit too advanced for you. Try to bring it back a little bit. So I did. And then for the next few assignments, I tried to do things that were a little more geometric, a little easier for me to handle. And now, because this is the final assignment, illustration, painting, whatever, in the block, I decided to go all out and do something really complicated. And I don't remember when the idea occurred to me, but I just decided that I wanted to do an origami dragon. Actually, you know what? I think it's because I acquired a dragon fruit. So I had a dragon fruit and I was like, wait, this thing looks really cool. And it's a dragon fruit. I think the scientific name, or the more common name, is called pitaya or pitahaya or something like that. But anyways, the colloquial name is dragon fruit. And I was like, wait, dragon fruits should go with origami dragons, right? And I happen to know that there is such a thing as an origami dragon, so I just went on my favorite origami tutorial site, aka YouTube, and looked up how to make an origami dragon. Found a piece of green construction paper. Actually, no, I ordered some origami paper actually, and used some green origami paper and made myself a dragon. And I experimented so much with, I actually had two different dragon fruit, and the first one was getting kind of like rotten because I was taking multiple days to try to like figure out exactly how I wanted to place this thing. And so I had to use my second dragon fruit. And then finally I decided to put the dragon on a box, a cardboard box, and then have it like kind of positioned right over the dragon fruit, which is leaning towards the dragon. So it almost looks as if the dragon is like about to bend down and like kiss the fruit or eat it or something. So anyways, because it's kind of a small dragon and the fruit's kind of large. Otherwise, maybe I would have had like positioned it so it looked like the dragon fruit was an egg or something, but no, the sizes don't quite work that way. Anyways, so there's a dragon fruit. I considered, moving the box so that it was perpendicular, maybe doing a portrait style illustration, kind of like I did with the butterflies earlier. But then I decided, no, let's go with landscape. And boy, doing the dragon was so tricky. I mean, just the sketch of it, trying to figure out which points I was supposed to measure, I must have done, I don't know how long it took me, but definitely over an hour of sketching. That's actually one of the things that the instructors advise us is they're like, your sketches shouldn't take more than 30 to 45 minutes, because if you do anything more complicated than that, that means that you're probably pushing yourself too hard and you're doing something that's beyond your current capabilities, which means that when you get to the painting process, you might make some mistakes and things like that. So they really strongly advise you to stick with the 30 to 45-minute limit, which I'm afraid I had a really hard time doing for a lot of these. And I think with this dragon, I really didn't quite follow that 30 to 45-minute limit. But then again, when they say 30 to 45 minutes, do they mean just the initial sketch, or do they mean the entire thing from sketching it in your sketchbook to transferring it to your canvas? I don't know. Anyways, so the whole thing for me, like doing the sketch in my sketchbook and then transferring the sketch over to canvas, that definitely took over an hour for sure, hands down. And then after that, it was also kind of tricky to figure out where the shadows were, because for the dragon, I think for this one I did end up using construction paper because it was bigger than origami paper, and I tried doing a dragon with origami paper and it was too small, especially compared to this big giant hulking fruit thing here. So I made the dragon out of green construction paper, which is thicker, and so the folds and the bends and creases are a little different. I don't know if you can tell from the photo in the very beginning or from this painting here. And then the dragon fruit itself, it has these weird shaped little spikes, and especially near the top left, where it's the side closest to the dragon, it gets kind of complicated. And it wasn't until I started doing the painting that I realized, hey, there are a few of these little spiky things that I didn't quite draw in, so I had to add that when I was in the painting phase, which is not ideal. Ideally, you want to have it all drawn out with your pencil beforehand, and then you don't have to add anything major or anything with the paint once you've done the initial drawing. But I think it was really a good idea for me to follow the instructor's advice and dumb it down and then slowly bring the complexity back up to this point, because by the time I got to this dragon, I was definitely much more able to handle it. I think if I had tried to do this, man, if I had tried to do this with, say, assignment 11, which is the very first painting of the block, it would have been impossible. That's the thing when curriculum is structured well, is that you almost don't realize that you're improving until you look back a few weeks, months, or assignments back to where you were when you first started, and you're like, wow, I've actually come a really long way. So that's the exciting thing about this program, is that you are improving even when you don't realize you're improving. So yeah, this is one of the most complicated paintings I've ever done in my life, not just for this program, but ever. And it actually worked out pretty well. Yeah, I think the dragon's front wing, that forward line, is a little too straight. The actual photograph that I took, the front is a little bit, there's more of there's more wiggle and bend in it. But oh well. Anyways, I'm pretty pleased with how this one turned out. Dragon, dragon fruit, the theme, it all worked. We've got our box, we've got our paper animal in there, so checked all the boxes. And that's it for today, and that is it for Block 2 of the Evolve Artist Program. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in Block 3. Until then, make sure you enjoy and create some beautiful things. See ya!